promise of a new home. In the chaos of 1970s America, where civil rights had left more questions than answers, where poverty still shadowed progress, and where black families were fractured by war, drugs, and incarceration, Jim Jones offered something rare, a promise, not just of food or shelter, but of belonging, of dignity, of being seen. And for thousands of black people, especially women, that was enough to follow him to the ends of the earth. Why black women followed him? They say, it could never be me. But stop and ask yourself, what if you were invisible your whole life? Passed over, underpaid, overworked, the last to be protected, but the first to protect? What if a man stood in front of you and said, I see you, you matter, you are the backbone of this movement? He called them warriors, he called them righteous, he let them lead, and in return, they gave him everything, their faith, their food stamps, their children, their trust. Jones didn't invent this, he just learned how to exploit what the system created, because America had already taught black women to serve, to fix, to endure. In white churches, they were the ushers. In white schools, they were the aides. In white homes, they were the maids. In white hospitals, they were the unthanked hands cleaning blood. And when someone finally said, you can lead here, they believed it was different. But it wasn't. It was just a new plantation disguised as a people's temple. The scariest part, it never stopped. Today, black women are still the heartbeat of agendas that don't serve them. They show up for political parties that give them slogans, not safety. They build brands for movements that use their voices, but never return the favor. They organize elections, lead churches, raise other people's children, and still die from childbirth at the highest rates in the nation. Their labor is essential. Their loyalty is expected. Their lives are disposable. Jonestown didn't happen because black women were weak. It happened because they were tired of being the last ones chosen and the first ones sacrificed. They followed Jim Jones because he offered what their own nation would not: housing, healthcare, a sense of family, a seat at the table. And when it was time to die, they were the first to line up, not because they wanted to, but because they believed they were protecting everyone else. And here's the truth we don't say enough. Black men have a responsibility, not to dominate, not to control, but to build, to create safe ground where black women and children can grow, heal, and thrive, without having to search for salvation in systems that don't serve us. Because what happened in Jonestown didn't happen because they were foolish. It happened because they had no alternatives, no fortress, no rooted black-built nation of protection and purpose. They were vulnerable to the lie, because we hadn't given them a stronger truth. And this is where the vanguards come in, because we can't keep waiting on governments, not when those very governments are compromised, wrapped in foreign aid, foreign influence, and foreign agendas. They let outsiders write our budgets, control our media, fund our development, and then call it progress. That's not sovereignty, that's outsourced survival. The vanguard understands, freedom isn't granted, it's built, brick by brick, skill by skill, family by family. We must reclaim our land, our economy, our institutions, and our identity, not just as a protest, but as a foundation. So our daughters don't grow up looking for validation in false prophets. So our sons don't grow up thinking power comes from foreign pockets. So our families don't keep dying in borrowed dreams. Jonestown didn't start in the jungle. It started in the void, the one we left unprotected. And if we don't fill that void with truth, ownership, and vision, someone else will fill it with lies. The time for beginning is over. The time for building has begun.